Good morning, I'm Melissa and welcome back to my channel. I've got a healthy what I eat in a day video for you today. I have not filmed one of these in so long. I've taken a long break from making YouTube videos, but I'm very happy to be back. And I'm gonna show you how I eat this way while very pregnant. And it's a little bit different. I try to get more protein in and I have to eat more frequently rather than having the large portions that I used to have and enjoy. And that's just something that I had to kind of tweak and get used to, because when you're pregnant, your organs are all squished and you can't really fit as much food in your stomach as you might want to at once. So you gotta kind of pace it out a little bit. All right, so first thing in the morning, I usually have a banana just to put something in my stomach before I walk Beckham, and then I'll come back and make some breakfast. But it's just nice to have something quick and easy to eat first thing, because I'm hungry right away when I wake up. All right, I'm going to make a cherry chickpea kale chia smoothie. And I'm also just gonna add in a banana. Normally I would use a frozen banana in my smoothies, but I haven't put any of them in the freezer, so this one will have to do. And then I'm also going to add some ground cinnamon and a splash of unsweetened vanilla cashew milk. The chickpeas and the chia seeds are just for some added protein and to help make the smoothie a little bit more filling. And the frozen cherries are just for sweetness. Lots of cinnamon. And a splash of cashew milk. Then I'm just gonna add my water in and blend this all up. This is gonna make close to 2 16-ounce glasses, so I just kind of sip this throughout the morning. The nice thing about having kale or spinach or any dark leafy green in the morning is that no matter what else you eat that day, you know that at least you've had some dark leafy greens. So if the rest of the day you kind of forget to have some, then at least you've had some early on. And as far as the chickpeas go, I only put 1/3 cup in, because I find if you put any more than that, then you can taste them and they don't really add much of a nice flavor to a smoothie. So I like to have them kind of go undetected. All right, for lunch I've got something super easy. It's basically 3 ingredients plus some seasoning. So I've got some leftover wild rice that I made yesterday in my Instant Pot. I was a really picky eater when I was a kid, and rice was one of the only foods that I really enjoyed eating. And I remember the first time I had wild rice with soy sauce, I just loved it, and I still do. And we've got some tofu. I've already got the package open here, but it is organic, super firm tofu. And I'm gonna be using 1/3 of the pack, so about half of what's left here. And then I'm going to slice up this entire zucchini, and I'm gonna steam the zucchini first with a splash of water on the stove top for a few minutes, warm up the rice in the microwave, and then add the tofu to the zucchini in the frying pan for a couple of minutes just to warm it up. And for seasoning, I'm gonna be using garlic powder, a little bit of sriracha, lots of lime juice, and some soy sauce. If you've been watching my What I Eat in a Day videos for a while, you'll probably recognize the same flavors that I use over and over again. And that's just because I'm a creature of habit. I know what I enjoy, and it just makes mealtime really easy. And I just know which spices and seasonings to combine in order to get a flavor that I really enjoy. I've got the zucchini sliced up very thinly, and I'm just sauteing them in the frying pan with about 1 ounce or 2 of water. I'm gonna put the lid on for about 4 minutes or so, and then I'm gonna add the tofu in as well, and that's when I'll put in my spices. And just for reference, this is about 2 cups of cooked wild rice. Wild rice really expands once you cook it. And while tofu isn't necessarily high in calories per pound, it is higher in fat. So if you want to keep this lower in fat but still have the protein, you can swap out the tofu for some black beans or some kidney beans or lentils or chickpeas. All right, as a snack, something that I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take some of these sliced frozen peaches and I just saute it with a splash of water on medium on the stovetop. And then after, I just put a little bit of cinnamon sprinkled on top, and that's it. It honestly tastes like pie filling. It's really sweet and delicious and still super healthy. I've got an ounce of water in here, and I just let these saute on medium heat for about 4 or 5 minutes until they're nice and soft. I'm just sprinkling some cinnamon on top. Lots of cinnamon because I love it. And voila! All right, I am going to make a soup for dinner using my Instant Pot. And I literally just opened up my pantry, my fridge and freezer, and my spice cabinet and just saw what I had available and what I thought would kind of go well together. I rarely follow recipes when I make soups. I kind of just DIY it and it usually turns out great. So I've got 1 yellow onion. I always add onions to my soups. I just love the flavor. And then I've got these little potatoes to use up. So I've got 10 of them here. I'm just gonna give them a good wash and chop these up into little cubes. I've got a zucchini, 2 tiny carrots. I'm going to probably use about half of this cabbage. And then instead of veggie stock or soup broth, which I very rarely use, I'm gonna use about a tablespoon of this red miso paste. If you're following a completely sodium-free or added salt-free diet, then skip this part. But I'm gonna add some of this thick miso paste, which gives the soup a really, really nice flavor. And then of course you don't have to add any salt in afterward. And for my spices, I've got onion powder. Can you tell I like onion? So onion powder, ground cumin, garlic powder, and some smoked paprika. And I'm gonna add about a cup of frozen corn, some sweet peas. Oh, and you know what I forgot that I'm gonna add? Curry powder. If anyone watching is just switching over to a whole food plant-based diet or considering it, one of my biggest tips is to really embrace seasonings. Seasonings make all the difference. The last thing you want is to have, you know, these beautiful healthy meals but not really enjoy the flavors. And so if you need to season the food up to make yourself enjoy it more, I recommend going to the grocery store and just having a really good look at the spice section and trying new things. Smoked paprika is really, really delicious. That's something that I probably wouldn't have thought about a couple of years ago, but now I include it in tons of my dishes and I really enjoy it. Because if you don't enjoy the flavors of the food, it's so much less likely that you're gonna stick with eating this way. If you can find your favorite seasonings and spices that make you genuinely love this food, then it doesn't feel like you're on a diet at all. It just feels like you're eating healthy, delicious food that you love. right, we've got 5 cups of water in there. Now I'm just adding in the cabbage. And I only did 7, not 10 of those little potatoes, just because I was worried about overfilling this Instant Pot. Cabbage and zucchini are so full of water as well. So you'll see that once this is cooked, there's a lot more water in the pot afterward. And I'm gonna cook this on high for 25 minutes. Smells really good. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna serve up 1 small bowl now, and then wait a little bit to digest, and then probably have another bowl in about an hour or so. And I'm gonna add some chili flakes. There we go. Very easy and filling dinner. All right, now I'm just having a cup of sugar cookie sleigh ride tea. It's a really yummy, sweet holiday flavored tea. And I'm gonna have some frozen fruit that I took out of the freezer about half an hour ago to just let it thaw out. I've got some frozen blueberries, frozen dark sweet cherries, and frozen mango chunks. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I will see you in my next video. Bye-bye.